One more game, one more hour, one more win. Do these words sound familiar to you? Tell me, at what part of the day do you usually say these things? That's right, at night when we're supposed to go to sleep. When you were deep into a game, it always seems like time is constantly working against you. You return from school or work and want to relax by playing a few games when suddenly it's already 12 a.m. and you have to wake up at 6 in the morning. Even though you know you will feel like crap, you continue to play because you can't go to sleep without winning a match. Or, well, I'm already past my sleep time, so it doesn't matter anymore anyways, or whatever other excuse you think of to continue to play. In reality, neglecting sleep to keep gaming is not a small inconvenience, like just not feeling energetic, but a major health risk that in the long term will ruin your life if it hasn't already. So before you leave this video to play video games without hearing why sleep is so important, how it actually works, and what to do to fix your degenerate sleep cycle, well, let's just say, don't sleep on this valuable information. We always hear that sleep is very important, but we never hear exactly why it's so important. While it is impossible to quickly cover all of the importance of sleep, you have to understand that when it comes to the basic health trinity, diet, sleep, exercise, sleep is the most necessary. Actually, the sleep scientist Matthew Walker, who also wrote the book Why We Sleep, would not agree that sleep is one of the 3 pillars of good health. According to him, it's the foundation of health. He lists a lot of benefits of good sleep, but the key ones include improved memory and learning, enhanced creativity and problem solving, better mood and emotional regulation, reduced risk of obesity and chronic illness, improved athletic performance, enhanced immune function, and many more. Which all sound pretty great, don't they? Well, you won't experience any of these benefits, and actually you'll end up degrading your life if you keep gaming instead of sleeping. If you sacrifice sleep to play video games regularly, I'm guessing you already know that not only do you feel tired almost every day, but you are more often in a bad mood, less motivated to do anything productive, and just eat junk food and drink caffeine to just get a little boost of energy. Many of you probably feel anxious, stressed, and depressed because of your problematic gaming. But the perhaps most neglected physical body needs contribute just as much to your overall quality of life as the psychological ones. Now, to understand how to sleep well, we need to understand how circadian rhythm works. Some of you watching this video struggle with gaming and perhaps end up sacrificing an hour or two to play when you should be sleeping. However, some of you are pulling all-nighters to the point that you flipped your wake-sleep schedule completely to the other side. I know when I was playing StarCraft, Brood Wars in my kind of, I guess, famous relapse that I talk about, I used to go to bed at 7, 8 in the morning. I'd sleep until 3 or 4 p.m. and I'd play video games 16 hours a day otherwise. And that's what I did. I did that for many months, many months. And prior to that, many years. And it had a major effect on my body, on my mind, and really caused a lot of issues in my life. And working with clients on Game Quitters, I hear from so many of our clients who have this similar sleep schedule. For most of us, having this type of sleep schedule is not natural, and if you currently have one like this, I think you know what I mean. Our sleep-wake cycle is called the circadian rhythm, a roughly 24-hour internal biological clock. The circadian rhythm is primarily responsible for regulating sleep and wakefulness through exposure to light and darkness. In addition to regulating the sleep-wake cycle, the circadian rhythm also influences other bodily functions such as hormone production, metabolism, body temperature, and immune function. The circadian rhythm goes out of rhythm, for example, when you understand and see that it is nighttime and dark outside, but you boot up a video game through a bright screen, which gives an illusion of sunlight to the brain. I think many Europeans here understand in certain parts of the world, of course, when it's dark for the majority of the day, just how much this difference in light and darkness can really affect your body. Well, video games are having a similar effect. The main way you can start fixing your circadian rhythm if you have a flipped sleep schedule is to understand that
light viewing early in the day is the most powerful stimulus for wakefulness throughout the day, and it has a powerful positive impact on your ability to fall and stay asleep at night. So this is really the foundational power tool for ensuring a great night's sleep and for feeling more awake during the day. Viewing light early in the day is key. Viewing light later in the day when the sun is setting or around that time can help protect these mechanisms, your brain and body, against the negative effects of light later in the day.
So as neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explained here, this is how you get your circadian rhythm back in balance. Because as I mentioned, the primary function of the sleep-wake cycle works through exposure to light and dark. Of course, this won't happen in a day, and if you are already used to going to sleep when everybody's waking up, perhaps it's better to take it one day at a time and try to aim to go to sleep 30 or 60 minutes earlier and then wake up 30 or 60 minutes earlier. I find when I've suffered from insomnia or had a really bad sleep schedule, it takes me about 3 weeks to flip it back around. This way your body won't have to again adjust everything completely, but over the course of a few weeks, you should end up in a better sleep schedule. However, this is not all when it comes to good sleep. It's not just about what time you sleep, it's about the quality as well. So as a gamer or former gamer, what can you do to ensure proper sleep quality and quantity? First, you need to create the right conditions to sleep. Good sleep doesn't only come from the sleep itself, but also from ensuring the right conditions before going to sleep. Proper sleep is actually all about consistency. You need to plan what time you'll go to bed and what time you will wake up. This is your sleep schedule. Currently, I fall asleep about, usually before 11 p.m. and I'm up at 6:30. Mostly because I start coaching calls usually at 7 a.m. I live here in Thailand, and with the time zone, I need to wake up earlier. And now that I'm in that schedule, it's very easy to maintain it. Normally, my sleep schedule would be something more like falling asleep around midnight and waking up around 8 a.m. One of the keys is just make sure that you're getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night and ideally falling asleep before midnight. Also, you want to keep a consistent schedule every day of the week. So if you're waking up early, Monday to Friday, but then you're sleeping in on the weekends, it's actually really disrupting your circadian rhythm. And so you want to keep it more consistent throughout the weekend as well. Now, a bad sleep schedule is not the only thing setting up your night for failure. I mentioned that good sleep is not just about the quantity, but also the quality. And one of the major things that impacts your sleep a lot is screens, especially screens close to bedtime. Most of the screens and bright lights we have nowadays emit what is called a blue light. This blue light actually makes you more alert and in turn makes it harder to fall asleep and to sleep well. It used to take me about an hour to fall asleep once I decided I was gonna fall asleep. But when I installed Flux on my phone, which now is just native with Apple, and I'm sure Android devices as well, it's the setting that turns your phone, it starts to take the blue light out of the phone and turns the colors kind of to be more orange. Took my 1 hour to fall asleep down to 10 minutes. Then I added a sleep mask and earplugs, and I fall asleep like that. Like 2 minutes, I'm like out cold. It's taken me time to get to that point. But certainly it's shown me that there are specific things you can do that can help you fall asleep easier. And so don't sleep, pun intended, on these practical tools. So gaming late makes you more awake, and that's why it can seem so hard to fall asleep after. Your brain is still so alert, and this blue light is really inhibiting your sleep. One of the most captivating things about gaming is its ability to keep us engaged for hours. Gaming is actually a very intense activity for the brain, and when you are out there fully engaged in a video game trying to defeat that hard boss or playing competitively with other people, friends, or just online gamers, your brain actually isn't able to differentiate between reality and the game. This means that your brain is releasing similar chemical reactions to what you would feel if you were in that exact same position as that character. For instance, it's releasing adrenaline and dopamine, chemicals that activate your brain and body when you should actually be focusing on deactivating and winding down, creating calm in your day so you can actually fall asleep and feel safe and secure. So creating the right conditions to sleep also means no late night caffeine or sugar. And every gamer here playing late, I'm sure, is certainly not listening to that one. Next, ensure a good night's sleep. 80% of good sleep is actually the preparation to sleep, and 20% is the actual sleep itself. So you want to make sure to turn off all your technology and bright lights for at least an hour before bed. But if that's too difficult to do, at least aim to not fall asleep while scrolling your phone or gaming on a laptop. Your inner sleep-wake cycle, or more specifically your circadian rhythm, is regulated part by experiencing light and darkness. If you go to sleep in an environment that's already dark, chances are that your sleep quality and quantity will be way better. It's one of the reasons why I wear an eye mask. If your room has a window, keeping the curtains closed so that it's dark will also help as well. And I know a colder room is much easier for me to sleep than a hotter one, so I set the air conditioning on a specific number for me as well. The eye mask and earplugs, I know some people watching this will feel like maybe that's a little bit odd, but when I was traveling full time, I was sleeping in so many different conditions on flights, on hotels, in different time zones that an eye mask and earplugs actually gave me a consistent condition to sleep, and it helped me a lot. So finally, you want to create the right conditions for waking up. Some people actually like to keep their curtains open, so when they wake up, they take their eye mask off and the bright light helps them wake up. Other people like to keep the curtains closed and it's dark and they just wake up with that. I think you need to test these yourself and ultimately find what works. However, if you are keeping the curtains open, make sure you're wearing an eye mask so that while you sleep, it is pitch black. Next, let's talk about the alarm. Preferably, you would wake up without an alarm at a specific time and your body would just wake up when it's used to. But for many of us, that's not practical. So setting an alarm as a backup is always a good idea. And it's also important to make sure that the alarm is not next to you. I like to keep the alarm clock on the other side of the room, or you can use your phone as well. That way you can't just hit snooze and keep sleeping, which again affects your sleep schedule, but you have to actually physically get up and turn it off. Now there's always going to be that moment when you get up, you walk across the room, you turn off your alarm, and you look at your bed and it looks really warm and cozy and you're tempted to get back in. And that's where you have to just make the right choice. Some of this is about tactics and strategy, and some of this is ultimately just about discipline. If you want better results in your life, you have to make choices that are aligned with getting those better results. So you can watch every video possible, you can learn every strategy, every tactic, but if you don't follow through and apply it, specifically in the moments when it's essentially the most challenging to actually apply it, you're always going to struggle to get results. So that moment when your bed looks cozy and warm and comforting, that's where discipline ultimately comes in. Now, one last thing that will help you wake up and actually wake up with a motivation is to get excited for the upcoming day. So the famous neuroscientist Andrew Huberman says that going to sleep and waking up with the idea of how much the upcoming day can offer can actually help you increase the quality of your sleep and also the quality of your day. Have something to look forward to, even if you're choosing that yourself, and that can help you get out of bed just that little bit easier. Now, when it comes down to our inner motivational system of dopamine, being able to be disciplined and follow through, we have a video about how gaming affects us, and Andrew Huberman is featured in this video, so you can check that one out.